What's the flag for?
Well, it teaches these colts to use their bodies the right way before I put them on a cow.
Why not just use a cow?
For hell's sakes, lady, that's kind of like practicing a fist fight when you're already in the middle of one. You know what I mean? Oh, fuck. You're the governor. It kind of started out all of season one. I was just helping saddling and wrangling, making sure everybody was safe and saddles were correct and the tack was properly done and all that stuff. And just kind of started in, you know, they needed another cowboy. And Taylor put me in a little bit here and a little bit there. And on season one, he let me do a roping scene that was fun. That was probably the first big scene that I did. And I think there was just kind of a small place for me for a guy to pop in and out.
How come you can't rope like that when we're roping for money?
Man, I'm thinking about the money, not the fun. Started riding horses, man, can't even remember. Grew up ranching and doing about everything with horses you could do. My older brother used to put me on quite a few wild ones and told you it was okay. That kind of fun stuff. Graduated high school and got an opportunity to go to Texas and work for a cutting horse trainer. Guy Woods. It's called EE Ranches in Pilot Point, Texas. Got to ride with a lot of really well-named guys, and it was a great time. I put a horse on the internet about 5 years ago, and Taylor called me up on the phone. He asked me what I was doing, wanted to try it. So Taylor just came down to the barn and rode him, tried him out, and bought him, and they came down and started taking lessons. And it's kind of a funny story. We were at a show, and the secretary of the Cutting Horse Association, she asked me, how did you meet him? Well, he just bought a horse from me, and she pulled up on the internet and thought, wow, he must be famous.
I think that's funny.
So I went out to the trailer, and I said, so you're some famous guy or something? And we just kind of laughed and called me right before Yellowstone started and pretty much just asked me to give some riding lessons for the actors.
Teach the son of a bitch a lesson, will you please?
All right. Says, hey, take him on a pack trip. So we loaded up. No, I think we had 14 mules and 6, 7 actors, and we went up on some ground that my grandfather owns and went up there for 4 nights and packed them in and just taught them to be cowboys, I guess. When I first got introduced to Kevin, Taylor brought him down to the barn. Just him and Taylor rode down in the truck, and he introduced himself, and he says, so what do you do for a living? And I said, well, I train horses, and I farm, and do some ranching and stuff like that. And he goes, oh, that sounds like a great life. And we get halfway back in the barn, and I just couldn't help myself. I turned and looked at him, and I said, so what do you do for a living? He paused and gave me this look, and the only thing that went through my mind was, I think I just cost myself a job.
Yeah, I see that.
And he started laughing and slapped me on the back and said, we're gonna get along just fine. So it ended up being a good thing.
So this thing will buck, Jake?
Curtis has been hauling him all year long. Anybody ride him freight seconds yet?
It's like a mechanical bull or something that I could try first, just...
Or Jefferson.
Jake, pull it.
That poor kid, he hadn't been on a horse until we take him 9,000 feet in the air and we strapped him on. And I looked back at him, I said, I hope you can hold on. And his eyes went about that big. And boy, he cowboyed up and did good. And he's riding really good. You know, he's come a long way. They've all progressed great. Cole Hauser's just, I mean, he's kicking butt. He's doing his own stunts and, you know, riding fast, doing really good. I mean, all those guys have done great. You know, it's something that not everybody gets to do. They're riding really well and advancing. They're gonna take the stunt guys out of business. Kelsey, she didn't get the opportunity to go on the pack trip, but she's been down to the barn lately riding cutters, and she didn't seem like she was nervous to me at all.
Cool if I ride with you? I want to see my kid.
Monica, if you fall off, they're gonna have my ass. Taylor wrote the script where Kelsey took my horse. She wants to ride up there with us.
Oh, go and grab her horse.
All the good ones are up at camp. Rip got mad at me and told me to give her my horse and all that. The only thing left here is a bunch of freight trains and monsters.
Well, what the fuck is wrong with your horse, Jake?
Well, it's my horse.
Okay, Monica, get on Jake's horse.
Taylor called me and says, will you get on a bucking horse? And I had to remind him that I was 40. And I said, yeah, if I can pick it.
Well, his horse seems a bit angry.
Yeah, a little bit.
Taylor's got the best horses. I mean, I don't think you're gonna see a TV series nowadays or anything like that with the caliber of horses. And he's invested into the actors, and they are riding. They are doing the stunts, you know. When Cole ropes those guys, you know, he is swinging the rope and running fast and doing kind of a lot of that stuff, which I think should mean a lot to the followers. With me watching it, it's real stuff. It's exciting.
Okay.
Hey, pretty boy, you're up. You go to work on them ranches, and the bunkhouse is pretty much a mess-off place, and, you know, the cowboys can do what they want. And he writes it pretty funny, you know, there's a lot of truth to it. Maybe a little too much beer sometimes in them, but it's got a point. It's for sure been interesting, you know, to never been around a movie camera in my life and to watch all of it and see how it takes out, and then to actually sit down on your TV and to watch it. It's been fun. I wouldn't go in there for 10 or 15 minutes if I was you boys.
You're even walking different.
I feel different.